Chinese President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Barack Obama will meet in Sunnylands, California on June 7th and 8th. In a rare two-day event in an informal setting outside of Washington, D.C., it will be the leaders' first face-to-face meeting since Xi took office in March and Obama won re-election last November. Stephen Orlins, President of the National Committee on U.S.-China Relations, weighs in on the meeting and shares his views on what we might expect to come from it. What should we expect from this two-day event?
Well, I think, first of all, the fact that the event is occurring is what's the most important. That unscripted, outside of Washington, outside of the political atmosphere of Washington, outside of the media glare in Washington, the two presidents are going to sit down for, I'm told, more than 7 hours and have direct discussions on all of the issues that affect the relationship between the United States and China. My view is it will start at a strategic level, where it's what we're hearing is a new great power relationship, an attempt to avoid the problems of history where the status quo power and the rising power have conflict. So both the presidents and various advisors have read history, and what they're seeking to do is to put in place mechanisms and structures that make sure that doesn't happen. So the first level is strategic. You know, where is the United States going? President Xi will ask, what are you thinking about Asia? What do you want to accomplish? He asked President Obama, and President Obama asked President Xi, where is reform going? Where do you see China in 10 years? How do you see the interaction with America? And it starts off at a very strategic level. Then they go into the specifics and figure out, what does this great power relationship mean? What does it mean in terms of the economic relationship, in terms of North Korea, in terms of cyber, in terms of all of the different issues that affect the relationship?
How this relaxed setting outside of Washington could help the two presidents to sort of discuss serious issues, I believe, in a more constructive way.
Well, because it's just going to be the two of them and their senior leaders. They're not going to have to worry about a state dinner and who gets invited to the state dinner. They're going to not have to worry about the Congress and what the Congress is going to be saying about President Xi while he's in Washington. It takes them away from the things that go on in Washington and allows them to focus on each other. Both sides recognize the importance of the relationship and the need for the President of China and the President of the United States to know each other. So if a crisis should arrive in the coming months, the fact that they have had this meeting, that they understand each other, that they have interacted, that they know where each other is coming from, would help them resolve that crisis. So it does both lays a foundation for resolving problems in the future and puts you on the right track to make sure that you don't encounter those problems. So I think it's a big deal. I think it's a very big deal.
What do you make of such a rare meeting, in such setting?
Just think, if 30, 40 years ago, it would have been impossible to conceive of this kind of interaction. And here we have it occurring in California. And I give both countries' foreign policy advisors high marks for being able to engineer this.
In your view, what kind of issues are most pressing and difficult in the meantime for the two to reach not really official agreement, but consensus on?
Yes, because there won't be official agreement, but hopefully they can reach a consensus. I mean, we're seeing progress on the important issues already. So we're seeing progress on cyber. The announcement of the creation of a working group to study the cyber issue. We're seeing progress on North Korea, that the statement that denuclearization is the most important part of Chinese policy in the Korean Peninsula is a slight change from stability being most important. So it has moved slightly closer to the U.S. view. So that is an important breakthrough. We've seen progress even in the corporate area, where we've had this issue of not allowing auditors of publicly listed Chinese companies go into and get all the records of those Chinese companies on the theory it was 内部 or 国家保密. Well, that was creating a lot of difficulty. Now we're even seeing progress on that. We're seeing progress on economic reform. If you listen to Li Keqiang, he is taking a very strong stand. So these things are all occurring before the meeting in California. So we're seeing progress, which should kind of set the stage for very productive discussions between President Obama and President Xi.
What next after this we could expect?
Well, I think you can expect more senior level Chinese coming to the United States and more senior level U.S. officials going to China. So you're going to see increased interaction. You're going to see continued improvement in military-to-military relations. What has been quite clear since President Xi assumed power is he has instructed the PLA to work more closely with the U.S. military. And similarly, what we've seen is President Obama has told the U.S. military to work more closely with China. So we're going to see more interaction. We're going to see more joint activities. So search and rescue, humanitarian assistance, not things which our militaries conduct but are not necessarily military in nature. We'll see progress in that.